One introduction. My name is Candy. I am 26 years old. I work in a very big company. This company is in a busy city. Every day I go to my job, I am an employee. There, my life is simple. I like things to be quiet and easy. I do not like a lot of excitement. I do not have a lot of money, but I always make sure my clothes are clean. I like to look neat and tidy. I do not wear fancy clothes. Simple clothes are best for me. Some people say I am pretty. I hear this sometimes, but I do not like it when people pay too much attention to me. It makes me feel uncomfortable. When I walk through the office, some men often look at me. They look for a long time. This makes me feel tired. I just want to do my work. I want to finish my tasks. Then I want to go home. I want to have a peaceful evening. I do not want any problems or special attention at work. My job is important to me. I want to do it well. My boss's name is Henry. He is 35 years old. He is a tall man. He always wears nice suits. His suits are always clean and look expensive. Henry is usually a very serious man. He does not smile much. He talks about work in a serious way. But sometimes he smiles at me. His smiles are a little strange. I do not understand them. I try not to think about these smiles. I just want to focus on my work. I want to do my job correctly. I want to have a normal day. At the office, I come to work every morning. I sit at my desk. I open my computer. I start tasks for the day. I send emails. I write reports. I talk to other colleagues about work. I try to be friendly, but not too friendly. I keep a professional distance. I believe it is important to separate my personal life from my work life. The office is a place for work. It is not a place for personal things. I enjoy my routine. It helps me to feel calm. I want to live a quiet life. I want to work hard and be good at my job. I do not want any extra attention. I just want peace. I want to go home at the end of the day, feeling good about my work. I wish for a simple life both inside and outside the office. This is my wish every day to his eyes on me. Every day, Henry started to find many reasons to come to my desk. He did not just come once or twice. He came often. He would ask about my work, like a report I was writing or an email I sent. These were small questions, but I felt like they were not the real reason he came. I felt his eyes on me sometimes. His eyes stayed for a long time. It made me feel uncomfortable. I tried to focus on my computer screen, but I could feel his stare. It made my hands feel cold and my thoughts race. One afternoon, he stood by my desk. He looked at me and said, "Candy, you work very hard here. You always do good work." I looked up at him. He continued, "You deserve more for all your hard work." I smiled and said, "Thank you, Henry," but inside I did not feel happy. I felt a strange nervousness. His words stayed with me. That night I could not sleep well. I thought about what he said, his voice, his tone. It kept playing in my mind. Why did he say that? What did he mean by "you deserve more"? I did not understand his meaning. The next week, something new happened. Henry called me to his office. My heart beat a little faster as I walked there. I thought maybe I did something wrong. When I sat down, he smiled. He said, "Candy, I want to talk about your salary." My nervousness changed to a little happiness. A salary increase would be good. I worked hard, and it would help me a lot. He leaned forward a little. "You are one of the best workers in this company," he Said, "You do excellent work every day. You truly deserve a raise." I felt happy to hear this. It felt good to be told I was good at my job, but then his eyes changed. They looked softer, not like a boss. Talking about work, he looked at me for a moment, then he said, "Maybe we can talk about this more at dinner. We can discuss your new salary there." I did not know what to say. Dinner with my boss, it was not what I expected. I thought it would be a simple talk in his office. My mind raced. Was this a good idea? I did not want to say no to my boss. It was about my salary after all. I felt confused, but I also felt like I could not refuse him. He was my boss and he was offering me something good. I just nodded slowly. He smiled again. Different kind of smile. I left his office, feeling more confused than happy. 3. The dinner, I did not want to go to dinner. Henry was my boss, so I felt I had to say yes. I hoped it was only a business dinner just for work. Henry said the restaurant was very nice. By the sea, when I arrived, Henry was already there. He looked different from the office. He wore a casual smart shirt, not his usual suit. He smiled warmly when he saw me. "You look beautiful tonight, Candy," he said. His words made me feel shy and my cheeks felt warm. We sat at a table. First we talked about work, about office projects. But soon the conversation changed. It was not about work anymore. Henry started asking about my personal life. He asked about my dreams and what I liked outside of work. I felt unsure what to say. Then he talked about himself. He told me he felt lonely sometimes. He said he worked hard and had little time for a personal life. Hearing this made me feel shy, but also special. He said I was different and unique. I wanted to believe his words. I wanted to think he truly meant them. After dinner, Henry asked, "Would you like a drink somewhere else?" I agreed, thinking I would have just one. We went to a quiet bar. One drink became two, then two drinks became 3. Time passed quickly while we talked and laughed. Henry gently took my hand. His hand felt warm. A small voice in my mind told me to stop. It said this was not right. He was my boss and this was not professional. But I did not move my hand. I let it stay in his. I felt nervous, a little excited, and very uncertain. I wondered what would happen next, as the evening continued. For that night, after dinner, we left the restaurant. The night air was cool. Henry asked if I wanted to go to his apartment. He said we could talk more there. I felt unsure, but I said yes. My mind was not clear. After the drinks, we walked a short distance. His apartment building was tall and modern inside. It was very quiet. We went up in the elevator. When we entered his apartment, I looked around. It was big and clean. I told myself, we are just here to talk. I sat on a sofa. Henry stood near the window. He looked at me for a moment. My heart started to beat a little faster. Then he walked closer. He sat next to me. He took my hand. His touch felt warm. He moved very close. He looked into my eyes. Then he kissed me. It was a long kiss. I felt many things at once. There was a little fear, but also a strange excitement. My mind was a little cloudy. I did not stop him. That night I stayed at his apartment. I slept with Henry, my boss. It felt like a dream, but it was real. I did not know what to think. Everything happened so fast. I was confused about my feelings. Was it wrong? Was it right? I could not answer these questions in my head. I just closed my eyes. I woke up very early. The sun was just starting to rise. Henry was still sleeping next to me. I felt strange. I did not know what to do. Soon he opened his eyes. He smiled at me. His smile was soft. He said, "Do not worry, Candy. I will take care of you." These words made me feel a little better. I wanted to believe him. I hoped this meant something good for us. I hoped he really liked me. Later that morning, I went to work. Henry also came to the office. Everything seemed normal. He did not say anything about last night. He acted like any other day. He just talked about work tasks. But sometimes, when no one was looking, he would give me that same strange smile. It was the smile he always gave me. Before, it made me wonder, was it at secret between us, or was it nothing at all? I felt a mix of hope and confusion. 5 empty promises. Many days passed. I waited for the salary increase Henry promised me, but nothing happened. He did not talk about it. When I tried to ask him, he always said, "Be patient. It takes time." I tried to believe him, but a bad feeling grew inside me. Soon Henry changed. He was not kind anymore. He stopped coming to my desk. He did not smile at me when we met in the hallway. In meetings, he did not look at me. He was very cold, like a stranger. This made me feel very bad. My heart hurt. I thought about everything that happened. I started to understand he only used me. He did not care about me or the raise. The words he said that night about taking care of me were just words, empty words. I felt angry and sad. I knew I had to talk to him. I wanted to know why he lied to me. Why did he make me believe him? One afternoon, I walked to his office door. My hands were shaking a little. I knocked softly. He looked up from his computer. His face showed no warmth. I walked inside and stood in front of his big desk. I said, "Henry, you promised me a raise. You said you would increase my salary." I waited for his answer. He looked at me with an annoyed face. His eyes were cold. He said, "Candy, this is not good. You must not mix personal things with work. That is not professional." My face felt hot. I felt deep shame and anger. How could he say that? He was the one who started it all. He invited me to dinner. He talked about my work. He made promises. I looked at him. My voice was quiet but strong. I said, "You started it. You invited me to dinner. You promised me things." He stood up from his chair. His body was tall and stiff. His voice was hard. He said, "Enough. Go back to your desk now. We will not talk about this again. This conversation is over." I stood there for a moment. My body felt heavy. My eyes were full of tears, but I did not let them fall. I turned and walked out of his office. The door closed behind me. I felt empty. The promises were truly empty. He had used me, and now he was done. My trust was broken into many pieces. I wondered what I would do next. 6. The truth comes out. I couldn't focus on my work anymore. My mind was not clear. Every day felt long and difficult. I often went to the bathroom to cry. My heart felt heavy with sadness and shame. Henry's words, "Don't mix work and personal things," played in my head again and again. I felt very alone. I also felt angry, not only at Henry, but also at myself for believing his empty promises. In the office, I started to notice things. People looked at me differently when I walked past. Some colleagues stopped talking. Then they started whispering. I heard my name sometimes, and then Henry's name. I felt their eyes on me. It was clear that something was happening. Rumors were spreading like a fire. I thought maybe someone had seen Henry and me together, or perhaps they had noticed his strange behavior towards me before. The office, which used to be a place for quiet work, now felt like a place full of secrets and judging eyes. This made me even more uncomfortable. One afternoon, my phone rang. It was a call from the Human Resources Department. The HR manager, Miss Davies, asked me to come to her office for a meeting. My heart beat fast. I felt a mix of fear and relief. I knew this meeting was about Henry. I had to decide what to do. Should I keep quiet and protect myself? Or should I tell the truth about everything? When I sat in front of Miss Davies, she looked serious. She asked me about my relationship with Henry. She said that some concerns had been raised. For a moment, I wanted to say nothing. I wanted to pretend everything was fine. But then I remembered the promise of a raise the dinner the night and Henry's cold words. I thought about how he had used me and then dismissed me. I took a deep breath. I decided I could not keep silent any longer. It was time for the truth to come out. I told Miss Davies everything. I started from the beginning. I explained how Henry had invited me to dinner, saying it was about a salary increase. I told her how the conversation changed from work to personal matters. I spoke about his compliments and how he made me feel special. I also explained what happened after dinner at his apartment. I told her about his promise to take care of me and how he later denied everything, saying it was unprofessional. It was hard to speak, but I kept going. I wanted her to understand the story. Ms. Davies listened carefully. She wrote notes. After I finished, she told me that the company would start an investigation. She thanked me for being honest. Later, I learned that Henry tried to deny my story. He said I was lying. But the HR team found messages he had sent to me. These messages showed his promises and his interest in me outside of work. The evidence was clear. Because of this, Henry was fired from the company. The truth had finally come out. But I wondered what would happen next. For me. 7, I lost everything too. After the investigation, Henry was fired from the company. He was gone, but my life did not become easier. In fact, it became much harder for me. My colleagues looked at me in a new way. They did not smile at me like before. Some people talked softly when I walked past their desks. I heard whispers. Some thought I was the reason Henry lost his job. They believed I caused trouble for him. Others called me bad names. They did not say it to my face, but I heard them talking. I felt very small. I felt dirty. It was a terrible feeling every day. Every day. At work was difficult. I did not want to go to the office. I just wanted to hide from everyone. A few days passed. Then I received a letter from the company. It was not a good letter. The letter said that the company had to let me go. They told me I could not work there anymore. The reason they gave was to protect the company's image. They said my presence was not good for the company's reputation. I was shocked to read this. I had told the truth, and now I was losing my job. 2, I packed my things slowly and quietly. My desk was clean in a short time. No one came to say goodbye to me. No one looked at me directly as I left. I left the office building without saying a word. The air outside felt cold. Even though it was a warm day, I had no job. I had no future plans after this. When I arrived at my small apartment, I sat down and cried. I cried for many hours. I felt very angry. I was angry at Henry. He had promised me many things. He had lied to me, but I was also angry at myself. I asked myself why I let it happen. Why did I believe him? Why did I not stop it? These questions stayed in my mind for a long time. I felt like I had lost everything. My job, my good name, my trust in people. It was all gone, but then a new thought came to me. I promised myself something important. I would never let something like this happen again. I would be stronger. I would learn from this difficult time. I would protect myself in the future. This promise was the only thing I had left. A new start. 1 month passed after Candy lost her job. It was a difficult time. She felt sad and worried. Finding new work was not easy, but she tried her best every day. She sent many applications and went as several interviews. She hoped for a new start. Finally, she received good news. A different company offered her a position. It was a new start, and she felt a spark of hope on her first day. She felt nervous, but also excited. This new office was smaller. The people seemed friendly. Her new boss, M. Evans, was kind and respectful. She talked about work tasks and company goals. She did not make strain comments. Candy felt safe and comfortable here. This was a good change. Candy worked hard at her new job. She wanted to prove her skills. She focused on her tasks and helped her team. Her new boss valued her efforts. Miss Evans often praised Candy for good work. This made Candy feel important and appreciated. It was a different feeling from her previous job. She learned that a workplace should be about work, not personal interests. The difficult experience with Henry taught Candy a very important lesson. She learned about self-respect. Before, she sometimes felt she needed someone else to take care of her. Now, she understood she could take care of herself. She learned to trust her own judgment. She learned to say no when something felt wrong. This new strength grew inside her. Every day, sometimes walking in the city, she passed her old office building. She remembered Henry and what happened, but the memories no longer made her feel sad or angry. Instead, she felt strong. She understood the past was a teacher. It showed her what she did not want. It showed her the true value of respect for herself. Lies and false promises were not worth her time. Candy now lived a quiet and happy life. She enjoyed her work. She made new friends. She smiled more often. She was no longer the girl who waited for someone to make her life better. She was a woman who made her own life better. She had learned to protect herself and to stand up for what was right. This new beginning was not just a new job, it was a new Candy. She was strong, independent, and ready for whatever came next. She knew her worth, and that was the most important lesson of all.